Shes de la Cruz.
Hello, my name is Kristen Jerry Galvan.
I'm Rose Ann Villanueva.
I'm Erica Maricos. And I'm Jezebel Columna. This video aims to perceive the challenges and experiences of the beginning teacher to their first to 3 years of teaching. Our first interviewee is Miss Catherine A. Ortiz. She is graduated Bachelor of Secondary Education, majoring English at City of Malabon University, batch 2018. She finished her Master of Arts, English Language and Literature Teaching at City of Malabon University, batch 2020. She has 2 years of successful academic experience as college instructor at City of Malabon University. Former out-campus coordinator of College of Engineering and Technology in City of Malabon University. Currently teaching as senior high school teacher at St. Mary's Academy of Caloocan City. She is conducting her research entitled City of Malabon University Data Analytics Predicting Student Dropout Using Machine Learning Algorithm on the Process of Publication. Our second interviewee is Miss Chona D. Bacus. She graduated her Bachelor of Elementary Education at City of Malabon University, batch 2019. She is a former treasurer of First Hand Society, batch 2018 to 2019. She was also a Dean's Lister at City of Malabon University. Now, she is an elementary teacher for almost 1 year at Lanabal Academy.
Okay, for our third interview for today, it is Mrs. Michelle Alcanzado. She studied Bachelor of Arts, major in Mathematics at Navotas Polytechnic College, batch 2010. And she is currently teaching at the Salvation Army Educational Services Incorporation for less than 3 years now. And she is a preschool teacher, and now she is taking her master's degree about early childhood care and development.
My first question is, what do you like the most about teaching?
What do I like the most about teaching is, I think, my students. I love interacting with them. I love teaching them. I love when I knew that they really learned something from me. So it has a great impact whenever they are learning something from me, and whenever that I know that I am motivating them. So I really love connecting or interacting with my students.
So what I like most about teaching is that siguro it may sounds cliche or common, but what I most like what I like most about teaching is the beautiful idea of teaching is a learning process and teaching is a lifelong process wherein I can impart or wherein I can cater my abilities and I can impart my knowledge to the young learners. And siguro, in addition then, the beauty of teaching kasi, you'll be able to bless the children you are teaching to believe in the power of learning through teaching. So, this is most na gusto, pinaka gusto ko sa teaching.
Ano ba yung gusto ko sa teaching? Kasi usually talaga, elementary days hanggang college, gusto ko talaga na lagi ako nasa harapan, ayan. Gusto ko lagi ako yung nagre-report. So kapag may reporting, lagi ako nagbo-volunteer kasi parang ako yung attention ng lahat ng lahat ng tao. Kasi kapag nagtuturo ka, sila makikinig sa'yo. Yun talaga yung gusto ko kapag nagtuturo. And then yung student na rin, syempre, sila yung nakikipag-interact sa'yo, syempre. Mga classmate mo, kapag nasa harapan ka, nakikipag-interact sila sa'yo. Ikaw yung main na doon, na tao sa loob ng room na yon. Kaya gustong-gusto ko yung pagtuturo.
And for our second question, can you tell us about your teaching philosophy?
My teaching philosophy, I believe that children are unique in their own ways, and they all deserve a stimulating environment wherein they could grow physically, emotionally, socially, and of course mentally. And I believe also that there is no such thing as slow learners, only struggling learners. That's all.
With regards to my teaching philosophy, um, it is based on the principle of the end part of teaching. So this principle taught me in my philosophy that in order for me to teach the learners, I should be patient and efficient teachers so that it will guarantee that the children will or the learners learn from me. So my teaching philosophy is more likely to be an efficient and effective teacher.
Since nag teacher yung course ko, ang philosophy ko talaga sa teaching, philosophy ko is yung give and take process. So, hindi lang naman isang ano lang yan, hindi lang naman ikaw yung magbibigay kung ano yung matututunan ng bata sa'yo. Meron ka rin matututunan sa kanila. Yun ang lagi kong nilalagay sa resume ko, kapag tinatanong ako sa interview, yun, give and take, hindi lang ikaw lagi. Meron at meron ka makukuha sa kanila.
What would be the challenges in your first year in teaching?
I think the most challenging part on my first year in teaching is the classroom management, because as a teacher we are dealing in different kind of students. So there are fast learners and there are struggling learners. So the challenge is how you're going to teach all of them in a short period of time. So that is the most challenging part, the classroom management, because we are on the 21st century and there are they are all different in their own ways, their learning styles, their behaviors. So how you're going to deal with them, that is the most challenging part in teaching.
The challenges na na-encounter namin is sobrang dami. So, preparation, the PowerPoint preparation, up to to handle the class in terms of online setup. Then, um, the technical glitch when it comes to teaching online. Kasi hindi naman natin maiiwasan yung mga technical glitch. So, I think those are the challenges na fini-face namin as a new teacher or as we experience our first year of teaching amidst this pandemic, switching the face-to-face class into a virtual world.
Yung first year of teaching ko is yung sa paper and pen. So, ang pinakamahirap ko sigurong na-experience doon is mix yung tinuruan ko. So, hindi lang siya isang level, dalawa, say isang room. So, bali, isang first year pa noon, and then tatlong second year. So, paano ka magtuturo? Yung estudyante mo is halo. May first year and then second year. Kung subject mo ang math, paano mo kung iba ita-time management yung oras mo para turuan mo yung first year na isa na math, and then yung second year naman na math din. And then yung isa pang ko doon, meron ako naging student na merong ADHD naman siya. So, kailangan niya ng more attention. So, biruin mo, 4 lang sila. Yung isa, meron pang kailangan mong bigyan ng attention. So, siguro yun yung pinakamahirap na nangyari sa pagtuturo ko. Sa ngayon, kasi marami pa naman mangyayari.
Is there a time you have your worst teaching day? What did you learn from that experience?
Worst teaching day, I didn't recall much of that but I'll share na lang one of my unforgettable experience in teaching and how did I learn from that experience. So my worst experience in teaching is when one of my students committed suicide on my class. So how did I deal with that certain situation? I talked with the students and her parents, and I realized that mental health is really important. And as a teacher, I'm not only acting as their teacher but also their friend. So I tried connecting deeper on my students. I tried to talk to them even if my class is done. So yes, that's all.
There are countless of worst teaching days talaga na masasabi namin kasi kung face nga, merong worst days na encounter ang mga teachers, most likely mga new teachers. Lalo ngayon na switch talaga sa online system ng education, yung face-to-face class. Sobrang daming worst teaching days na na-experience namin. So, nandyan yung, we struggle a lot. The physical health, mental health, kasi in preparation of the lesson we are about to the learners. So, ayun. Tapos, meron pang mga times na we struggle a lot in physical kasi yung health namin when it comes to preparing nila. So, ang ganun. Then, in terms naman of acting ng talaga. So, kung face-to-face nga, mayroong mga disruptive behavior mga students, then to the online class, evident meron ng mga disruptive na behaviors ng mga students. But, yung those first teaching days na na-experience ko has taught me talaga to parang to believe the power of teaching, to go back to the passion where I've started. Kasi as kung makikita natin o kahit kayo future educators amidst of the pandemic talaga, despite how passionate we are sa ating mga ginagawa, despite how we love teaching, there are times we ask ourselves if this career uh, or this path is for us. Kasi sobrang hirap talaga. So, those were teaching days have helped me to be strong and to pursue teaching. Kasi kung hindi natin ipagpapatuloy yung ating nasimulan, sino pa yung mga magbibuild sa mga future pag-asa ng bayan, which is sa kabataan, kung tayo mismo ay mawawala sa field na ito dahil sa pandemic na ito. So, those teaching days have taught me to be enough to pursue this career. So, ayun po.
So yun na nga, yung worst teaching day ko kapag yung isang estudyante, parang nag-attitude na siya. Yan syempre, nasisira na yung attention mo sa ibang estudyante. Kasi nga inaagaw niya yung attention ng mga ibang estudyante. So dapat hindi ka magpa-apekto. Kasi kung nagpa-apekto ka rin, kawawa naman yung iba. Wala rin sila matututunan kung magpapa-apekto ka, focus ka lang sa isang estudyante na yon kasi nga nag-attitude. Kailangan mong bantayan. So dapat balance. Kung isa inaintindi mo, yung iba din dapat. Para pantay meron silang makukuha sa araw na yun.
Number 5. What has been the hardest part about moving your classes online?
I think the hardest part about moving my class online is that learning or realizing that many students actually from my previous school, CMU. So many of my students before are not actually privileged. So some of them had no mobile devices and almost all of them are having a hard time regarding with gadgets. And of course, one of the hardest then about online classes is our internet provider. Yes. That's all.
Marami kasing mga hard parts kung titignan natin, if we dig deeper about online class or about switching the face-to-face class and online, sobrang dami na makikitang mga hardships. But hardest part talaga in moving the online into the adaptation process. The adaptation process, both the part of students and the teacher. Kasi honestly, frankly speaking talaga, kasi we are not flexible enough to switch the face-to-face class into an online world, online teaching, online platform. Kasi speaking, sobrang daming adjustments and consideration lalo sa ating mga teachers. Sa aming mga teachers, merong adjustments and consideration as to how we teachers could deliver our lessons well and impart learning to our learners of pandemic or to online setup. So I think talaga one of the hardest part of moving our online classes, moving the face-to-face class into online classes is the adaptation process of both the learners and the teachers. So
Yung way of teaching, of course, kasi nga, di ba, ang sabi, ang pagtuturo nangyayari yan sa loob ng classroom talaga. So ngayon kasi through cellphone na lang tayo, through gadgets na lang tayo nag-uusap. So, hindi mo makokontrol yung attention ng mga bata. Lalo na ngayon, sa ano ko, is tuturuan ko mga preschool. So, hindi mo siya mapagsasabihan, hindi mo siya mahawakan na lumapit ka dito. So, may times na ituturuan namin, umaalis sa upuan niya, naglalaro-laro, hindi mo siya mahila. Hilahin mo siya sa cellphone. So, yun yung ano, kailangan natin i-adjust na kailangan makuha nila yung attention mo. Makuha mo yung attention nila para mag-focus sila sa iyo, makinig sila sa iyo at hindi sila gumawa ng kung ano-ano kahit walang nakapaligid sa kanila.
Number 6. What do you miss about teaching in person?
I miss about teaching in person is of course the daily routine. I miss how my students would react if I'm about to say to them that there is a recitation. I miss hanging out with them while I am on class, and I miss seeing their faces. I really do. Aside from that, actually, of course, I also miss how I interact with my co-teachers, with my co-faculty, and other person on our school.
ang dami po ipag iaano natin. If we are to parang reminisce the previous years of face-to-face class, sobrang dami nating miss. Pero in my part, what I miss about teaching in person is those days of class interactions. Parang being able to see the faces of the children, being able to see how happy they are kapag may mga learning silang natatanggap, being able to know and to teach them, not just in the four corners of the classroom, but to parang go beyond the four corners of the classroom. So a lot of those are the things talaga that I miss with regards to teaching in face-to-face setup. Ayun po.
Siguro yung mga bata, yung daily routine namin, yung proper greetings namin sa umaga kapag uwi. Kasi ngayon, kapag online class, usually nagmamadali na sa oras. O tapos na pala tayo, wala nang oras, may susunod pala teacher. So minsan nagbababay na lang agad, wala nang ganun. Lalo na yung maano mo sila, mako-comfort mo sila kapag may problema, wala na rin ganun. Yun siguro yung namimiss ko, lalo na yung banding nyo sa loob ng classroom.
So for the seventh question, how concerned are you about the academic growth of your students right now?
I really am concerned to the point that I decided to quit online teaching because, I pity them because I really feel that they really want to learn, but the problem is they lack resources. So I really felt pity and sad for them right now in this pandemic.
It's very, no, ayun talaga pag-usap. Kasi switching online class, yung pinaka core talaga na titignan natin is the learning of the students. So in terms of how concerned am I about the students' academic growth right now. So kung merong percent that would exceed na mag-i-exceed 100%, will it be 101% or beyond? So ganong percent yung maibibigay ko with regards to how concerned am I with regards to student growth right now. Kasi knowing na switch tayo online, parang guarantee talaga natin that shifting the face-to-face class into the online learning system, kailangan na meron talagang learning na makukuha yung mga bata. So kasi ngayon hindi natin alam through the modality na ginagawa natin, through online, modular, o blended modality, hindi natin alam, hindi natin guarantee kung natututo ba talaga yung mga estudyante. So, the best that we could do talaga as teachers, the future teachers, is flexible enough and flexible way of teaching.
Siguro tungkol sa learning nila kasi sa panahon talaga ngayon kapag gadgets, maraming distraction 'yan. Example na nga sa sa anak ko, distraction sa kanya 'yan. Imbis na mag-online class, napupunta sa iba. So sa learner talaga ang pinaka apektado ngayon. So minsan iba tinatamad na, even mga parents na kagaya ko, teacher syempre. Ang ano sa amin, ang ano sa amin, teacher to, dapat natututukan niyang anak. Siyempre, hindi naman talaga lahat ganun. Merong time na busy ka rin, yung anak mo, napabayaan mo. So, yun yung ano ko ngayon, nagiging problema ko ngayon, na hindi ko siya nabibigyan ng time para mag-online class, gawin yung mga subject nila, kasi nga, busy din.
For the eighth question, how valuable has professional development been so far this year?
Professional development is really vital, especially for us as teacher, because it will help us personally, and it is important during this pandemic because there are, certain new experiences like the online teaching. Ngayon lang naman tayo nagkaroon yan compare before. So there are a lot of adjustments and professional development like the simple webinars. It really helped for all of us, especially in dealing in these times of pandemic.
So, in terms of professional development, we teachers, in terms kasi ng professional development, we teachers should never stop learning. Yun yung pinaka-core on sa professional development. So, kung ako tatanungin, how valuable has professional development been so far this year amidst the pandemic? So, I can say talaga that it is very crucial. It is very valuable. It is very important. Very essential, I must say, because we need to still enhance our profession. Na hindi itong pandemic na ito us to stop learning for us to pursue our career of teaching and imparting learning to the learners, kahit via online or modular or blended modality siya. So, professional development is very crucial. It is very important. It is very essential sa taong ito amidst of this pandemic, from teaching the face-to-face class into the online class.
Adjustment sobrang hirap sa amin, lalo na sa mga hindi techie naman, kasi yung learning natin ngayon through virtual, through videos, module. So paano mag-a-adjust? Ako medyo okay pa kasi nasa mid-age pa lang ako. Paano na yung mga iba na hindi talaga nila forte yung gadgets? Paano nila maipoproceed sa mga estudyante? Kaya nga lumalabas yung mga story about teachers, kung paano nila na napapagtagumpayan yung gantong panahon natin ngayon, kung paano nila na bibigay yung tamang edukasyon na matatanggap ng mga bata. Adjustment talaga. Mag-a-adjust at mag-a-adjust ka para mahatid mo sa mga bata yung dapat nilang matutunan.
This year, how would you handle a student who is constantly disruptive or defiant? How do you cultivate a positive relationship with your students and create a sense of community?
So the first question first. So I believe kasi that as a teacher, it is important for us to build a positive atmosphere on our classes, even in online classes. So whenever I'm teaching, I am making sure that there are no dull moments. So I am always making jokes. So how am I dealing with student with disruptive or defiant attitude is I am always motivating them, and I always make sure that they feel loved, also appreciated. When I was teaching kasi I make sure that I am not only their teacher but also their friend. I am always open with them, and I always make sure that I want to feel them that there is someone they could talk to whenever they want to open their feelings, or whenever they want to talk about confidential things, I am making sure that they feel that there is someone they really can trust. So, and aside from that, I believe kasi na in students, motivation is really important. I am always considerate, most especially to my student who is a working student. So I make sure that I could, do simple things like standing deadlines, like that.
As what I said before po, na na kung that sa face-to-face class, merong mga disruptive and deviant behavior tayong makikita sa mga bata. So, given din siya sa online class talaga, na merong mga disruptive or deviant na behavior tayong makikita sa mga bata. So, how could we handle this is through extending our patience. Kasi, kung based on my experience, kasi a teacher must possess a virtue of patience talaga. Ngayon natin mas palalawigin, pa-extend yung ating mga virtue of patience when it comes to handling the disruptive and defiant behaviors of our students online. So, sa question naman na, how could I cultivate a positive relationship with my students and create a sense of community? So, all ba, kung iaano natin, i-compare natin yung face-to-face class into the or online system of education, ganito yung ating makukuha. So, sa face-to-face class, merong mga classroom management that as teacher, before we start our lesson, it is a must. It is essential na mag-conduct tayo ng mga classroom rules, mga classroom management before we start our lesson. Kasi kahit gaano ka pa kagaling, kahit gaano ka pa kagaling magturo, cover to cover yung tuturo mo, kaya kang classroom management. Meron din yung impact kung tututo ba yung mga bata. Kasi kapag merong, once na hindi ka nagkaroon ng classroom management, merong disruptive behaviors na mag-occur. So, from face-to-face, sa school kasi na tinuturuan ko in the Naval Academy, I am blessed enough talaga na yung face-to-face classroom management is dinta talaga into a virtual system, virtual learning. So, ito yung ginagawa nila. Nung face-to-face class, nagkakaroon ng classroom management before starting the lesson. So, online class naman sa ginagawa namin sa Naval Academy, we start our lesson talaga in a classroom management. So, kung dati mayroong mga so implementing the rules and regulations sa classroom. So, dinala namin siya into a virtual world, into a virtual learning. So, before we start our lesson, we started with a prayer. We implemented the online rules and regulations. So, through those classroom in-experience namin before we start the lesson, doon kami, or personally ako, nakaka-create ng sense of and relationship, positive relationship towards my students. Ayun po.
So siguro since mga bata yung tinuturuan namin, preschool, yan usually kasi may guide pa ng mga parent yan eh. Nandyan pa sa paligid niya. Katuwang na rin siguro namin yung mga parent nila na nasa paligid nila, hindi lang dahil sa amin. So kami kasi nasa cellphone lang kami, makikita lang nila. So dapat mag-proceed kami na nakakaakit sa kanila. Pero with the help of parent, of course, syempre, kailangan nasa tabi nila para kung may mangyari man o may magawin man yung mga anak nila, nandun sila sa tabi nila. Siguro by way of kailangan meron pa rin kayong communication sa isa't isa. Usually, hindi lang pwede nang ikaw nga lang ang magsasalita. Ngayon, lalo na ngayon, usually laging teacher lang ang nagsasalita. Syempre, kailangan din ng mga student na makipag-participate sa mga classmate nila. Usually, preschool. Friendly pa yung mga yan. Kailangan kakausapin nila yung mga classmate nila, may kamustahan sila, magtatanong din sila doon para at least kahit paano, hindi lang nila sasabihin na ay puro si ma'am lang nagsasalita, naboboring na kami. Hindi naman namin nakakausap yung mga classmate namin. Yung pangalan, dapat nga makilala nila yan kasi hindi lang pwede na ikaw. Kailangan banggitin mo rin yung pangalan ng mga classmate at least mapamiliarize nila. Usually kasi sa loob ng classroom, friendly yan talaga, mga bata friendly, makikipagkaibigan yan. And paano nila magagawa yon kung nasa cellphone lang? So kailangan bigyan mo rin sila ng freedom na makipag-communicate sa mga classmate nila.
Do you teach 21st century learners, integrate technology, and guide students to be a global citizens?
21st century learners kasi is, di ba, they are so-called the digital learners. So they most learn if there is a technology involved. So I could teach them actually by using or by integrating different kind of applications that example, the what do you call this one? I forgot the name, but there is a application wherein you could search a word aside from dictionary, and then if you're going to search a word, there are a list of synonyms or antonyms of that words, and there are what do you call this one? I forget kasi the term eh. But yeah, teaching the 21st century learner is about involving technology kasi their interest is easily distracted eh. So by involving technologies or applications that would help them grow, that is the key in handling them, the 21st century learners.
Number 10. So, we also talaga, maraming mga cons yung pag-switch ng face-to-face into online course. So, sa question number 10, masasabi ko na the positive way, the positive of switching online class, yung face-to-face class into online, is yung pag-integrate natin ng mga 21st century learners sa technology. Kasi, dito, madali namin mga teachers maituro how to explore, how to navigate the online platforms na ginagamit natin, the apps, the educational apps. Kasi nga, this online class has made na maging technological savvy yung mga bata. So, as we teachers also, maging yun yung isa sa mga easiest way kung bakit na-integrate namin ngayon sa mga 21st century learners yung pag-integrate, pag-navigate, pag-explore ng technology to be a global citizen. Kasi nga, we are switching the face-to-face class on online class. So, ayun po.
More on exploration kami ngayon kasi ang 21st century student kasi is more on gadgets na nga. So, naka-prone na sila sa mga YouTube, mga videos na napapanood nila. So, kailangan, at least kahit pa paano, ma-reach mo yung hindi naman ganun kagaling. Kasi nga nag-a-adjust ka pa. So, kailangan, yung pag-deliver mo na pagtuturo mo is hindi boring sa kanila. So, once na pinapanood ka nila at naboboard, magpapatay na lang yan ng video, magmumute na lang yan. Kunyari, wala kaming internet, ma'am. So, kailangan, nakakatch mo yung attention nila. Hindi yung ikaw lang at ikaw. Parang lang sila nakikinig ng radyo, hindi pwede yun. Kailangan meron din silang attention at kailangan nababantayan mo sila kasi minsan, nag-iibang ginagawa na kasi nga gadgets. Nagpe-Facebook na yan, nanonood na ng K-drama. So sa preschool naman, wala pang gano'n. Yun nga lang talaga. Pipigilan mo silang pipindot. Kasi yun ang nakakaano sa kanila, yung pagpindot sa cellphone. So dapat masabihan mo na wala silang igagalawin, kundi makinig at makipag-interact lang sa teacher.
For the last question, what would be your advice for those future educators?
For you guys, for the future educators, we all know naman that the teachers is the noblest profession, but at some part, we are the most, I don't want to say the term, but my advice na lang for you is, first is empathize with your students and don't bother or don't be afraid in asking for help and accept constructive criticism. So, accept constructive criticism because it's for you. It will help you grow, it will help you improve, and always remember that we really can't evaluate ourselves. So other people will evaluate us, and we should accept every constructive criticism. And we should learn that every criticism, it should impact us in a constructive way, wherein it will motivate us to change ourselves, not to feel down or felt unloved. That's all.
Right. Okay. Um, okay, knowing that this new normal system of education has brought a massive impact of hardships and struggles to all of us, lalo na sa aming mga teachers, sa inyong mga future educators. So, I would love to give advice in Visayan term. So, kung alam niyo yung word na padayon, P-A-D-A-Y-O-N, padayon. So, I would love to give this advice, padayon, to all of you future educators na kasi kahit na hindi natin sabihin na even if how passionate we are sa ating mga career na pinupursue, may mga struggles and hardships talaga tayong mag-meet amidst this pandemic at this online system of education. This Visayan term padayon, ito yung pinaka gusto kong ibigay sa inyo talaga. I would like to give this advice. So, this Visayan term padayon means to continue, to go forward, or in deeper sense, it connotes keep going despite the hardships, despite the struggles, despite all the pain that you have been experiencing right at this very moment amidst of this pandemic. So, padayon to continue pursuing your dreams, padayon to believe the power of your dreams, padayon to trust God, to trust God in all the days of your life. So, we are all in this together. So, padayon lang.
Siguro ang best advice ko sa kanila is focus on your profession po. And then know your responsibility. Kaya nga today, kung ano ka lang na nag-teacher ako kasi gusto ng nanay ko. Nag-teacher ako gusto ng tatay ko. Kasi di ko naman gusto to. So susuko ka na agad. Kasi nga dahil sa pandemic, ang hirap kasi. Di namin kaya yan. So dapat alam mo yung responsibility being a teacher. Dapat hawak mo yan para pag dumating yung time na ganito, hindi mo siya susukuan. And then, syempre, yung student mo rin. Kailangan mo sila lagi isipin. Kailangan mo sila i-care. And then, dapat bigyan mo rin sila ng love. Yun po.
In this time of pandemic, teachers, especially beginning teachers, experiences a new setup of teaching. The pressure and challenges that they've been through is not easy. Since they are beginning teachers, adjustment is really what they need. From shifting face-to-face classes into online classes is very hard. And as beginning teachers, they are experiencing difficulty in teaching since they are still adapting to the new normal system of education. In our interview, we conclude that the 3 beginning teachers we've been interviewed experienced different challenges, especially when online classes were implemented. They really find it hard to teach the lesson because they don't know if their students really learn from them. They cannot see the reactions and behaviors of their students while they are discussing, unlike in face-to-face classes. Aside from that, they also find it challenging to fulfill their role as a beginning teachers since we are in the midst of the pandemic. They tested their patience, dedication, and especially their determination if they can do their duty despite the crisis we experience. According to them, the thing that they really miss the most in face-to-face classes are the routines, the greetings, their co-teachers, and especially the bond with their students. It's not easy to teach in online classes set up because nobody expects it to be implemented. As beginning teachers, they know that these challenges are just a part of their journey and only tested how passionate they are as beginning teachers. Overall, we realize that beginning teachers are the ones who are really affected by this new normal system since they are in the adjustment and adapting stage of teaching. They are not taught to teach in online classes because they are in the field. We have learned that even though they are beginning teachers, they prove that they can manage to teach effectively and can also adapt to the changes of our educational system. Overall, this interview helped us to be enlightened and inform us about the challenges that beginning teachers perceive. It will serve as our guide and inspiration to strive harder as we become future teachers of the country.